Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Welcome back. So another video. So what we're going to talk about today, actually another sort of a demo. I mentioned I had this special device coming. Look at that. Remember the other day I spoke about the coffees, like they're making lattes and cappuccinos and espressos and so on. Something that doesn't involve using 240 volt, that's portable, but gives good quality, if not better quality than what you'll get at most cafes. I know it looks like some type of concoction to do with scientists and so on in their labs brewing up some what do we do? I know it looks something like that, but no, this is for making espressos, lattes and cappuccinos. As you can see, there's not a lot of gear here, and that's a big requirement for my new coffee kit, which is something that's not going to take up too much space. Of everything here, you're looking at the Bellman. So this is called a Bellman. I think it's a Bellman CX25P. Very popular. If you do your research on YouTube, there's so many demo videos out there. I know I did say the other day that I was going to film an unboxing, but the truck turned up so late and I couldn't wait. As soon as it turned up, I just ripped in it and had a look. And I went through a cleaning cycle. So you basically go through the cycle like you're cleaning. That night, I couldn't wait any longer. I actually grabbed it and I got some old coffee beans that I have, and I brewed up a latte, and I was surprised how well it actually turned out. I'll add a photo just now and show you that latte. So that's the only time I've used it, guys. So that was yesterday and I haven't touched it since, apart from giving it a clean. So it's easy to clean. It's made of stainless steel. It's got a pressure bar on here. So apparently once it reaches a certain pressure to your liking, as long as it doesn't go above a certain range. Now yesterday I made a latte, and that was the first time I've ever in my life made a latte, and I thought I did a pretty good job, and considering I was using coffee beans that were roasted a long time ago. So today though, these have just arrived for the first time ever, apart from at a quality cafe. I've got some freshly roasted coffee beans. So these arrived today, just a matter of couple of hours ago, and I have not tried them yet. I've opened the packet and had a quick look. So what do we got here? We've got one that's called Shifting Light. It's an espresso blend, 60% Colombia San Fermin and 40% Ethiopia. Got a chocolate toffee plum taste. The next one, a San Fermin R, roasted for espresso, so I choose the espresso option. Washed processed Caturra variety from the Tolima region. Now I'm not sure where Tolima is. I meant to Google that, but didn't get a chance to get around it. And apparently it's got a red berry toffee syrupy taste. So I got 250 grams of each. I'm going to try this one. I'm interested in this chocolate toffee plum taste. So I'm going to try this one, and it's from Colombia, and I heard Colombia makes really good coffee. You need a little stove. So this is a little MSR stove that I've had for years with a little gas bottle. We got the device for making our espresso, lattes and cappuccinos. Got a milk jug. You might have seen here, it also includes a milk frother. We've got a little shot glass to measure out the correct weight. The coffee, got a filter. So apparently you can use filters in these if you grind the coffee to a really small consistency. You use these filters. And we've got a nice proper latte cup and saucer. One other device that we need, and I forgot to actually grab this, is my manual coffee grinder. So this is a Porlex brand, so it's got ceramic. It will hold up to 20 grams, I believe, is the maximum. This is a little tamper device where with this, apparently when you put the coffee in, you need a tamper to push the coffee to compress it a bit. So let's have a closer look at this unit now. So we've got the lid. So you can see the stainless steel. By the way, this is all made out of stainless steel. It does have some plastic on the sides here. So I've heard that you do have to be careful which stove you use for these. You don't want something where the flame shoots up, because I've read reports where people have actually melted these. But you can readily buy spare parts for these. So this is where the coffee obviously goes into these. So you've got your coffee in there, and you've also got this additional attachment here. So without this, okay, if you fill that up with the coffee, that'll make you apparently 9 espressos. Now you see this here, it's got a longer section here, shorter section there. So that longer section, if you put that inside here, so you can see now there's less volume in there. Apparently that'll make enough, so you'll be able to put enough coffee ground in there to make 3 espressos. So if we turn around the other part and put the shorter section in, apparently that makes 6 espressos. Okay, so we're just going to make 3 now. So I'm going to set it up for 3. And on the inside, you see what it looks like on the inside. Now there's marks on the side there. You may not see them. There's a 3, a 6 and 9. So corresponding how many cups you want to use, you fill the water line up to the 3, 6 or 9. I'm going to fill it up to 3. Another tip that I've heard is if you boil the water, you don't need to, but if you boil the water beforehand, it will not take as long to heat that water up, to build up the pressure. Well, obviously we've got to weigh out some coffee beans, and we've got to get some boiling water. So I'll just turn on the kettle here. Now if you're on the road, you're traveling, you can use the jet boils. The jet boils are magnificent for pre-boiling the water. They're approximately, takes 2 minutes or so to boil enough water, more than enough water to use on this. And then you can actually buy an attachment, you can use on your jet boil. We can put pots and pans and so on. And I've got one of those. So the jet boil, while you're traveling on the road, I think would be ideal for this. 1, you boil the water with it really quickly. And 2, once the water's boiled, put it in there, then you put the attachment on, and you can just sit this on the top and use that to heat the water up. But for now, we're just going to use my MSR stove. I tried it last night and it seemed to work fine. I got my gram scale, so we're going to measure out some coffee in this. Oh, you got to smell this coffee. Ooh, that one is actually stronger smell. What's going to be interesting to see the difference in the espresso, particularly with the cream. I had very little cream in the espresso in the one I used last night, but the coffee I used was roasted a very long time ago. And I was told that it will not cream at that age. So these bags have got like a valve on them. If you squeeze out all the air, you see how that's crunched up now. So that's really, really good how they do. So keep your coffee fresh longer. Okay. So we won't need that anymore. So let's start grinding. Now you can buy fancy grinders. You can buy a battery operated one. Now generally I've had this Porlex grinder for quite a while now. I bought it from Drifter Brendale store. You want to check out drifter.com.au. It's a great Australian company that builds Australian quality products with the parts sourced in Australia, and they also source quality gear from overseas, such as from Japan and Thailand and so on. So it's definitely a company worthwhile checking out. They've got their factory in Gloucester down in New South Wales, beautiful little town, and great people running it too, genuine Australians. So I am going to now, because generally when I use the coffee grinder, I usually use it for the AeroPress. Now the AeroPress doesn't use such a fine a grain as what this espresso machine does. It says that you want some instructions, and from some of the reviews I've seen on YouTube, that's done now, it says that you need quite a fine grain of coffee. Okay, so that's probably about the same consistency as I had yesterday. That wasn't too bad, that didn't take too long. So we're going to put that in number 3. So what we'll do now, just gently tap this in without, see if I can do this without making a mess. Doing a pretty good job so far. So what you do now is you grab these and we're going to press that coffee down. All right, so that's looking pretty good. So we'll just get rid of the excess coffee just on the edge there. And before I'd done that, I should have probably put some water in here, but that's okay, that comes in very handy. Now I'm getting some really good comments as well with the sound quality with the mic that I'm using, which is great. Couldn't see, there we are. So now this goes in there, like so. That goes in there, like so. Look at how beefy that screw is, look at how strong this is. Now, you need to tighten this down quite tight because you don't want the pressure to escape. You only want this pressure to come out when you open this. That's already got pressure in there. Did you hear that? That's extraordinary. By the way, this handle actually unscrews and you can pack it separately. And there's also a pressure valve here, so if the pressure builds up too high, the pressure will release out of these air valves here, which is a good safety measure. Alright, just let me grab a sponge and tidy this because we've got a few coffee grounds here. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Can you smell the coffee, Mum?
Yeah.
Does it smell good?
Good.
Excellent. Do you want one?
No.
My mum only has one coffee a day, and that's as soon as she wakes up in the morning. Doesn't matter what time in the morning she wakes up. She'll have her dark coffee then, and that's it. She won't touch a coffee anymore because she reckons if she has another coffee after that, she can't sleep at night. Hey, Mum. Okay. These MSR don't have a starter built into them as such. Now, last night it was when I tried this. There we go, that seems pretty stable. Let's have a look. It's all centered. Yeah. I'll turn it up a bit higher. It's only, like I said, well, in reality it's the third time. Apparently the first time you use them you got to go through a cleaning cycle, so it's basically the same steps that I'm following now, except you don't use coffee. So you just go through the same steps pretending you're making a coffee and pretending you're making a milk froth just with water in here, and apparently that just cleans everything. And you do that after you clean it with hot water first, and then you put it through the motion. And not long after I did that, it was late at night, and I thought, oh, I can't wait, man, I've got to try this thing. So I went through, and quickly in no time I made that really nice latte, and boy did it taste nice. That was really nice. So that pressure, you probably can't see that now, sorry about that, but I just want to check this. So that pressure is, I think it's just starting to move up the gauge. Now according to the manual, it says you want to brew your coffee when it's between 1 to 1.2 bar on the scale, and you want to do your steam in the milk when it's on at 2. Now I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of them are brewing their coffee at about 1.5, 2 bars. I'm not too sure why. I suppose more pressure, maybe that will make more cream. I don't know. What we might do this time is stick to the instructions, because that's what I did yesterday when I used the old coffee beans. So I want to see what difference it makes using the new coffee beans. So we might stick with what it says on the instructions. So then now it's probably around about 0.3 bars. So what we might do at this very moment now is we'll just fast forward till it reaches the 1 bar. So we won't stop the filming, we'll keep it going so you can see the whole process. You know what I forgot, guys? Quickly back, I forgot to put a filter on. I didn't put the filter in. That's okay. Okay, some people do use them without the filter, but apparently if you grind the coffee real fine, the coffee can go through into your cup, so we'll see if that's the case. I may not have ground it fine enough for that to happen, so we'll see. So what are we at now? We're not too far off 1. We might go to about 1.2 bar, up the higher end of the scale that they recommend. So we'll probably go up to about 40 or 50 mils, thereabouts. And then we'll pour that in. And then what I'll do is I'll mix a little bit of sugar in, like a little bit of sugar in the coffee. I'll mix that in. And then we'll grab some milk out the fridge and put them in the milk jug and make the milk. Now this, okay, so that's getting pretty close. So what I'm going to do is put that in there. Apparently I've read the best way, if you open this up, let some coffee come out for up to 10 seconds, then close it. Wait just a tad and then open it up again. So, okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to turn that down so that pressure don't build up too much. So here we go. There we go. All right. That's holding the pressure around about 1.5. Oh, look at that cram. I wasn't getting cram like that. Mate, a third of that is all cram. So, there we go. So it certainly does make a difference. Okay. You want to drink that, Mum?
No.
I think we've got about 50 mils in there. Now what we'll do now is we'll turn that up just a tad to get that pressure up to around 2 bars. And I'll grab some milk. Now I used this milk yesterday, so I don't know if we've got enough. Alright, so I'll have to grab some other different type of milk. I don't know what difference it makes and what milk you use. So let's just hit 2 bars now. So I use lactose-free milk, because if I have the normal milk it upsets my stomach. Okay, so we'll just turn that down a tad more because that's just hit the tad over 2. Now hopefully that's not too much milk there. Might have put too much milk in there, we'll see. I want to try to get that little bit of cream so we put on the top. Now what we'll do, make this easier, let's just move this. So apparently you're watching the instructions. There's a certain angle you put this in, so that's at 2. You know, the thing I forgot to do was just to purge some. Sometimes you get a little bit of water left in there and you're supposed to just let that water shoot out. And I forgot to do that. So I reckon the action you want to get, which is doing it now, is you want it so it circulates. So have that wand just slightly under, because we're not trying to make a cappuccino, we're trying to do a latte, so we don't want the milk too frothy. And apparently you want to do it to about a temperature of 65-70 degrees. But they say you can tell, and I do have a thermometer, but they say you can tell by touching the base. And with touching the base, when you can feel it when it's almost too hot to hold your hand there, then it's basically right. Now, I wish there was a way. Okay, so that's about it there. Now we give that a tap. We'll put that over there. So what we want to do now is give this a clean. Okay. Very important you clean, if you can see that. But very important you clean this straight away before it's had a chance to dry and cake on there too much. I need to get like a thick rag of some sort, but that looks pretty good there now. So usually that's enough to clean it. It's out the way. So I've got a nice shiny texture of milk there. You can see it's just got the right amount of cream in there. Now I'm no latte expert. This is only the second time I've done this. All right, let's see how we go with this now. You know something I forgot? I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit and just so excited to share this with you guys. A little bit of sugar. I wouldn't mind taking a sip of that just to see what that's like, that coffee. See how strong it is. It smells really nice. Ooh, yeah. Ah. Oh yeah. It's actually not too bad. That's cooled down quite a fair bit there. It probably took too long. Let's see if I can, for you guys, see if I can angle this down more. Is that better? The pattern on here, probably not. Oh, there it is. I don't know what I'm doing here, but so there you go. Cheers, guys. Let's try this. To mix that up a tad. So to me it looks like a latte. Definitely chocolate. It's got a very strong chocolate taste. It's actually quite nice. That'll pass as a chocolate drink. I think more so than a latte. So I don't think it's strong enough. Tastes great, but I'd like a bit more coffee there. So next one I'll make, I'll put more coffee and less milk. So I don't think you needed the filters. There's no coffee in there. Yeah, that was nice. And now basically to clean this, you let the pressure out, which the pressure's gone, and then let it cool down. To help cool down, so all these plastic parts you can touch them, no problems. So help it cool down, we can let some of the pressure out. Well, not the pressure, I mean just loosen this off, because we've probably still got some water in here. Now the ideal I've heard is you can, yeah, there's probably still a fair bit of water in there. The ideal is if you just put enough water in there to last the coffee session that you're doing. Tell you what, that will make a nice chocolate drink. But that actually tasted like a really nice chocolate drink. Really nice, something you'll get the chocolate at a really good cafe. So obviously it's going to need a stronger, much stronger blend of coffee. This one here smelt like it was a lot stronger, so probably you'd have tried that. Now the interesting thing, the biggest difference I noticed is that the amount of cream that I actually got in that espresso, where I virtually had no cream when I used the old roast. So it's true, it does appear to be quite important to have freshly roasted coffee beans. Now the beans that I got, I purchased locally, and they should have been fresh. So it's not like I bought cheap coffee beans at a local supermarket. I actually bought it at a specialty shop. It's not a proper coffee specialty shop, but they do have a cafe there. And apparently the beans are really, really old. So I'm actually talking to the suppliers of the beans about this, and when I told them like the batch number, the date on it, they were a little bit horrified that some of their coffee was being sold that's so out of date. So they're looking into it and seeing what they can do something about it for me, and I'm just waiting to hear back. I'll call that a success. Although, like I said, it was more like a chocolate drink. So, now the one I did yesterday, I think it was yesterday, it might have been the night before actually. The one I made then, I think I used about 30 grams. So that filter, I turned that thing out the other side and I filled it up for a capacity of 6. And I think I used about 30 grams in that. And I brewed the coffee, again using the old coffee beans, and it was really nice. It was nice, strong coffee. So either I use more coffee, less milk, or use more coffee ground. And similar way, the next time I'm going to try, I'm going to use more coffee, put more coffee in here. And then I'm going to try that. And if that's still not strong enough to me liking, I'll try the stronger coffee. And just out of curiosity, I'll try my old beans as well and compare that. And if that's still, I don't think it's strong enough, then I'll just go back to how I did it the other night and set that at a 6 coffee brew. So I'll still call that a success. And obviously it looks like you don't really need the filters, but I've got them. I've got another 2 packets there that I ordered arrived today. So I think I've got about 250 filters, so I might as well use them. And the filters are not very expensive. So cool. We'll call it at that today. This is going a lot longer than I thought it will. And again, please, if you can, subscribe. It'll help me. And put a like on my video. Comment down below what you think. Have you got any suggestions? Have I done anything wrong? Bear in mind this is only the second cuppa that I've done. I think the cuppa that I made the other night as a latte coffee, I actually like that better. This one was a bit weak. Probably because I used half of the amount of grounds in there, the same process. So obviously you're going to have a weaker blend of coffee. But as a chocolate drink, I'm amazed how strong a coffee taste that has in it. That's incredible. Not coffee, I mean chocolate. I mean, it says chocolate, toffee and plum, and they had them tastes in there. So this one's red berry, toffee and syrupy. So that's interesting. So yeah, well, let's call it at that. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Cheers.